Hello, friends. If you know me long enough, you would know that I deploy money in all asset classes. It's not just equities, it's not just trading derivatives, commodities, currencies, fixed income markets, especially sovereign yield paper, is something that I favor. Now, in December, 14th December to be precise, I recommended for gilt funds and I suggested that we could possibly get up to 10% yield annualized. And I anticipated to hold these funds for a while. But there were changes, and on 15th of March in my weekly video, I recommended exiting all these four funds. On an annualized pro rata basis, you would have got approximately 10% yield. Like I said, annualized basis because we got out earlier than usual. Now, the NAVs of these gilt funds have been rising. Many of my online family members have been asking me, hey Vijay, is it time to get back into these gilt funds? Have we been caught on the wrong foot? Did we miss the bus? Should we get back into the gilt funds again? And why is the 10-year sovereign benchmark bond yield falling? As I record this video on Thursday, the 16th of May 2024, the Indian 10-year benchmark bond yield has been approximately 7.07%. So, what gives? Now, I believe in a 360-degree worldview of the markets, and therefore you would expect the logic behind the entry and the exit and what I'm planning now. Now, you see, the reason why I suggested getting out before time in the middle of March 2024 was the RBI announced that they would be raising 7,50,000 crore rupees from the bond markets between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of September 2024, which is the first half of the financial year 2024-25. Fair enough. And bond yields started rising, which means bond prices started falling. And I anticipated gilt fund net asset values or NAVs to start coming down. And hey, they did. And then suddenly, in the last fortnight or so, you're seeing the gilt fund NAVs start to go up again. What happened? And more importantly, what you should make out of it. Well, you see, the 7,50,000 crore bond issues in H1 of FY 2024-25 apart, the RBI suddenly threw a curveball at bond markets. Initially, they said they would buy back bonds up to rupees 40,000 crores. And then last week, they announced they would have another tranche of bonds to be bought back to equivalent sum of 60,000 crores. Now, seeing this, the bond markets basically had two sets of data points. One saying that the RBI would mop up 7,50,000 crores from the bond markets in the first half, and the second saying the RBI had enough liquidity, they were actually buying back bonds. So this is a pull and push which the bond market was trying to grapple with. What really happened? Now, you see, earlier on 9th of May, the RBI bought back only 10,512.93 crores worth of bonds against the 40,000 crore rupees announced as a buyback amount. And as of today, in the second tranche of a buyback announced, the RBI has bought back only rupees 2,069.99 crores versus an announced figure of 60,000 crore rupees. Why? What happened? And what should be your game plan for gilt fund investments? Or rather, let me put it this way, what am I going to do with gilt funds now? Am I getting back in? Am I buying the Indian 10-year sovereign bond itself rather than the gilt fund? or am I holding the powder dry? Now, what did the RBI actually start to buy back? Now, the fact that they were issuing 7,50,000 crore worth of bonds would be obviously meaning the bonds would be long tenure. But what was the RBI buying back? Now, this is a revelation. They were buying back 6.18% GS2024 series of bonds which were expiring or being available for redemption on 4th of November 2024. Then they had another tranche of 9.5% interest bearing GS2024 redemption date 14th of November 2024. And then they had 6.89% GS2025 redemption date 16th of January 2025. Now, what they were basically doing was they were buying back bonds which were in any way due for redemption in the next 6, 7, 8 months. This is a very unique kind of operation twist. What is operation twist? When the RBI issues and buys back bonds of various expiries. But here what was being done was the bonds that were going to be redeemed anyway in the next 6, 7, 8 months rather, they were being bought back now to provide a sense of extra liquidity being injected into the banking system, while at the same time mopping up 7,50,000 crores in long tenure bonds. Now, why did the banks not offer the full 60,000 crore worth of bonds which the RBI had announced they would buy back? Two reasons. And this is something that I have been talking about on my Telegram channel a lot. If you take care to connect with me, my contact coordinates appear at the fag end of this video. I provide a lot of my thoughts in great detail on my free Telegram channel. Now, the banks that are holding the largest amount of bonds anywhere in the world, the banks are the biggest investors in bonds. In the case of India, these banks had bought these bonds at a steeply higher price in the COVID lockdowns from the government of India. That provided the government of India through the RBI ample amount of liquidity for various purposes. Now, the RBI offered to buy back these bonds at a lower rate than it had issued to the banks, which means the banks were taking a hit, or in common man's parlance, the banks were incurring losses by selling the bond back to the RBI at a price lower than what they had paid for the bond. The banks didn't want to book a loss. In any case, do remember, these bonds were due for redemption in 6, 8 to 10 months. Any which way. So why incur a loss? So this operation twist has basically failed. Now, am I going to invest in the gilt funds because the NAVs are rising? My answer, and you can feel free to disagree in the comment segment, do let me know your rationale. My answer is no. I would like to keep the powder dry. The bond market might think whatever it wants to by saying, hey, the government is actually buying back bonds. Maybe they will not issue 7,50,000 crore worth of bonds. I don't know for sure. I want more clarity before I write out a check and deploy my money. I don't just write out a check any which way without due consideration. I want more clarity, and probably the clarity will come in the next 3 or 4 weeks max. So I'm keeping the powder dry. I'm watching what's happening to these operation twists of issuing bonds of long tenure and buying back bonds which are due for redemption anyway in the next 6 to 8 months. To me, this is not really very clear. Maybe I'm simple-minded. So keep the powder dry. Connect with me on my Telegram channel. If at all I do anything in the fixed income market or any other asset class for that matter, whether it's commodities, equities, derivatives, etc., my Telegram channel is invariably updated first. I hope this clarifies your doubts about what to do with the gilt funds that you exited recently on my advice. I would love it if you would let me know how this video helped you and how my other videos are helping you decipher the market nuances better. And I would appreciate a share, a like, a comment, and even subscription of my YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. Please click on the bell icon to receive instant alerts about fresh videos being put up out here. And do share this video with like-minded smart friends like yourselves. Thank you for your patience. Till we meet again in my next. This is Vijay Bhambwani signing off for now. Have a very profitable day ahead. Bye-bye.